So you should know that the Trump administration, the New York Times, is going wild because they included a 7-page list of demanded documents. Every writing or record of whatever type made by doctors related to so-called gender-affirming care, which includes therapy, puberty blockers, hormones, sometimes surgery. It was reported first by the Washington Post, then the New York Times is where I saw it. And this appears to me that the Trump administration is going all out here. And they are coming after Children's Hospital. I hope they come after them today, tomorrow, and as hard as they can, as long as they can. They're arrogant. They think they're insulated, political clout, money, God knows what. Why did all these other hospitals, why did they recognize the error of the ways here? So let's see what Children's Hospital does now. I've been waiting for this. Also talking to some other people because now the Fairfax and Loudoun schools, Linda McMahon, the education department, are going after them because of their trans policies. It's illegal by law what they're doing there. It's illegal what any number of school districts, Central Bucks, places like that are doing. They got to be stopped. It's coming. And this with CHOP is long overdue. How is the science on the side of CHOP? And I used to, as you know, revere them. Remember the little girl, the 12-year-old? They saved her life, and the judge said, if CHOP says it, they're right. What happened to them? What happened to them is what happens all the time in these institutions. You get someone radical in there with power, someone driven, an activist. I believe it's the people involved with the gender-affirming care. And if they just have enough clout inside, enough guts, enough aggressiveness, they take a great institution and they smear it forever. I can't even say anything good about them. As long as they're doing this type of care, they suck. Yeah, I know all the other things. This is, I don't want to hear any lectures anymore from Children's Hospital about science when they're doing this stuff. They're one of the few remaining children's hospitals in America that I know of, big time. I told you LA, the Texas hospital, there are several of them that have relented. They're not going to do it. Somewhat under threat from Trump, somewhat under a study that was out that talked about how ghastly this is and how it's not effective. So what are they going to do now? Let's see. What they're doing now is complaining about their rights and everything else. All right, so 855-839-1210, you get in. Cracker Barrel, I'm looking for somebody that is a Cracker Barrel fan, and people are sensing it right away. This woman is, I'm only refreshing it. No, you're not, lady.
Yeah.
You're changing it. And the logo, what the hell was wrong with the logo?
It's the problem with a lot of corporations in America today where they think people want to see this minimalist design, and people don't.
Exactly.
People want to go back to like the way it was 20 years ago where logos were big and loud, you know, and kind of in your face. They don't want this minimalist stuff. I mean, you look at the Jaguar rebrand. You took away the Jaguar. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, that's the all-time.
It looks like Dyson vacuums now.
Good line. You know, I didn't know if there were enough. We might do that tomorrow. We may have to counsel on that, of logos that pop, to your point. Like, what is the all-time logo? I don't know. We've had various logos, radio stations I've been at. I don't know if there's one that I thought popped. I don't even know what it is right now, you know, and who designs that. But you're right. These are minimalist. They take a little coloring. They like it because everybody on the inside says how creative it is.
Yeah.
It would be like Uncle Sam as a logo. I think he's too tall.
Well, it's like if they got rid of like all like, I don't know, like Uncle Sam's very detailed. It's almost like they make him like a cartoon character like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Where there's no facial features or anything.
That's right. That's a good point. That's exactly what goes on. All right. We may do that tomorrow. Trump and others saying, and I've just seen, branding people say, it looks like Velveeta cheese. What happened to the guy? Well, he's old looking. That's too Southern. That's what it's supposed to be. It's
people go.
It's supposed to be. Do you go to? Have you gone to Cracker Barrel?
I've been there.
Yeah.
What
did you order?
Oh man, I haven't been there in probably like 4 years.
Do they have oysters?
I don't know. Gosh, no. All breakfast
They
food.
don't have oysters.
I'm thinking like country gravy on like a biscuit or something.
Yeah.
I think that's what I had last time I was there.
It's repulsive to me. I got.
I think it's delicious. But
But that's the appeal. Comfort food. You're right.
Yeah.
It's an all-time. We might
big
do comfort
menu.
food,
You can get it whatever you want.
Okay.
Home style. Yeah.
How about you, Kirk? Ever to?
Yeah, I've been there. Same thing. I think it was a few years ago.
What did you order?
I can't remember. I know I didn't do country gravy. That's
Okay.
That's gross. I think it was like a burger. I think it was
Right.
it was a burger.
Okay.
The food's excellent. And I saw a photo on Twitter. It looks like Martha Stewart's kitchen. It's all minimalistic. They got like it's
exactly.
gray. It's drab. I'm not.
You
a
mean
big,
the furniture now, the whole thing they've done, right?
No, the interior. I didn't see
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, minimalist.
It's
Yeah.
minimalistic. It's got like photos and art. I'm like, it's like a pop art restaurant. I'm like,
these
it's
people
country. It's down home.
Jimmy Dean, I expect to come walking out. How are my sausages? Instead, Martha Stewart's walking in. How are my sausages?
Right.
Joe of Exton redesigned it. That's what happened.
Right.
All right, we're on a roll. All right, 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. Side question today, though. And I told Henry this, Kirk, you haven't been in with us this week. So yesterday I had to go to the DMV, and I was on the air with Greg. He tells me, you'll be on the air. I'm calling you now. Remember, you're on the air. I'm taking my picture at the DMV, getting a long overdue thing with a license.
And
right?
also busting your chops about the jeans.
Yeah, then the jeans thing started. Thank you. That's Dom's jeans. American Eagle is considering it. Then they said, no, that'd be too much like we have the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. We don't need Dom in there in the jeans. Okay.
Right.
So today I had to get a birth certificate. I'm gearing up because I have to do the real ID thing. Oh, man, please, light candles, rosaries. I need a team of, if I have a chaplain out there, I'll tell you the day I'm going to do it. I want you walking in solemn prayer with me. We'll be in sackcloth, Dominus Noviscum, as we're walking into this. Hours later, do we come out or they go, nope, reject it? Yeah, but reject it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, well, my accountant here from Price Waterhouse, and Henry Machette is here also for some reason.
The muscle.
Yeah, muscle. There you go. Yeah. All right. Dan's not coming. It's a Saturday. All right, 855-839-1210. Some task that is dreadful. Doesn't have to be. We're not talking like the worst thing in life. You have to tell someone they might be going to die or something.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I'm going to take, Dan's was walking the dog in the rain. Dog hasn't walked today. It's raining. You got to walk the dog. It's pretty good.
Brutal, too. And the dog gets wet and starts smelling up the house.
Oh, yes. Mine is, of course, always edging. I hate the edging. I hate the whole idea. Let the grass grow. It's not like it's like those guys that have long hair on top and then cut out everything, a fade or something on the side. That's what edging's like.
Yeah.
It's saying to the lawn, you're not good enough. We have to make this, we manicure.
Stay off that sidewalk.
Yeah, put your nails out. We're going to manicure them. All right, Henry, what do you have?
Well, mine kind of has to do with that, at least the sidewalks, at least. Growing up on a street corner, a lot of sidewalk to cover when it snows in the winter time. And there is nothing I dread more than having to snow shovel the sidewalk because your shovel gets stuck in between each and every single slab of concrete that goes around. And you know what? A driveway is fine. It's fine. You just, shovel it. You push it to the side. It's fine. There's no imperfections in there. Where in every 3 feet or so, you're hitting a divot. You have to shovel it up. You have to make a walkway for everyone to cross. Like, no one's walking out here. It's a snowstorm. Stay inside. Don't come by my house.
Gotcha.
Leave it alone. I don't want a snow shovel.
All right.
It drives me crazy. I've broken a lot of shovels over the years because I get
I
frustrated.
can tell. Kirk, how about you? Do you have one offhand?
I do.
Yeah.
I dread going to food shopping. I can't do it.
all right.
I can't do it.
Really?
I can't.
Right.
It's like I don't
and
mind dealing with, I don't mind, going to a store when there's minimalistic lines. I prefer that because my whole philosophy is I want to get in and I want to get the hell out. I can't. It's too, like, the lines and people are bitching and moaning about, the coupons and how much this is on sale. And
when you get stuck in those cattle chutes and the kid's crying, Kirk, you're not a happy camper.
No, I'm not. I'm not a happy puppy at all.
So, Kirk, are you like an Instacart guy? Do you let other people do your shopping for you?
I don't do Instacart, but my wife usually does the majority of the food shopping. But when she asks me to go, it's painful. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
That's a good one. All right, that's what we're looking for. Something you dread. Coming off my experience the last couple of days. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. Your reaction to I need some Cracker Barrel people to jump in the appeal. This isn't woke per se. I'm more in Henry's camp. It's like corporate minimalist. Buninsky comes in. Now, some of the things they're doing is taking away, you don't want to say Southern here. How about country Western? It's Southern. That's the type of thing. What's next? Is the Waffle House going to say we are the Belgian Waffle House? Where are we going to go? But I have not been to a Cracker Barrel. What am I missing? What is it that?
Not much.
What is it that is the appeal? It's a big corporation up until now.
But there's lines. I have to admit, there have been times that I've gone, and there is lines. You have to wait a good.
It's
15.
always packed.
Yes.
And the stock has dropped unbelievably in the last 48 hours. Really big time. All right, so that's 855-839-1210. You can get on board. Trump, $515 million defamation suit on appeal. Boy, it goes away. Nothing. That's incredible. We'll talk with Greg Jarrett about that and this anti-fascist group that just doesn't call people fascist. They're the fascists that are armed now. He's been talking about this on Fox. 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
You know what we should do? Let me give another idea for programming and promotions and sales. We'll call the event Dunking on the DA. It's for city-only residents that have had it in the city of Philadelphia with Larry Krasner. It'll be a night out hosted by the two greatest Krasner haters, Dom Giordano and Tony Bruno. They'll talk about Larry Krasner and they'll debate sauce versus gravy. Be an unbelievable night.
I love it.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Imagine if today was the day your idea changed someone's life. Imagine if you could help someone pay for college, help your community build a new playground, or help a child make it to that dream competition. With GoFundMe, it's all possible. GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 200 million people. Every week, ordinary people meet their goals and do extraordinary things. Your ideas matter. GoFundMe isn't just for emergencies. Want to raise money for your kid's soccer team or raise funds for a small business, a creative project, or event? GoFundMe helps you turn ideas into reality. And help adds up. Fundraisers you start for someone else raise up to 5 times more. So think right now, who could use your help? Change rarely comes from waiting. It comes from someone deciding, today I'll start. Don't wait for someone else to bring change. Today, start your fundraiser in just minutes at GoFundMe.com/news. That's GoFundMe.com/news to start your fundraiser. GoFundMe.com/NEWS. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
The John Birch Society is coming! The John Birch Society is coming!
The John Birch Society is hosting its annual leadership conference at the Crown Plaza Hotel in King of Prussia, featuring retired General Michael Flynn, recent guest on the Tucker Carlson Network, the Solari Report CEO Catherine Austin Fitz, and national speaker and host of Behind the Deep State, Alex Newman. For tickets and more info, go to jbs.org. Saturday, September 13th, 67 Years of Truth. Go to jbs.org today.
From Chester Springs to Clementon, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Okay, it is Dom time here. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. You got the side question. We got your Philadelphia Eagles with more cheerleaders. What would the NFL have to do? They came pretty close when the Kaepernick and all the knee stuff started. Even though I didn't think it was disrespectful to veterans, as some of you said, it was the cops. They hate the cops. It was always about the cops. They bailed out of that. They sort of made their peace, and people said, let them alone. We want the NFL. Got to face it. That's what it is. So this male cheerleader stuff is essentially just, we're going to do it. We think it brings a little bit more here or there. It's checking boxes of some sort. And as a result, the Eagles will have 4 male cheerleaders this year. It's preposterous to me. It really is. And it's not outrageous. I'm not going to do that. I'm just telling you there's a deeper thing here with the NFL. And the Dallas Cowboys, I haven't seen Jerry Jones. Oh, yeah. I saw a couple of guys today. Let's put them out there. Can you imagine? My God. And again, the difference between the college male cheerleaders and this type of stuff is ridiculous. So, Henry, resident sports expert, is there anything the NFL could do that you think would drastically? I mean, they've taken away the kickoff. I know the reason, injury and all that. They still call it the kickoff. They still do commercials after it. But essentially, we're not seeing that play. It's drastically lesser.
We can see the play if the kickers and the coaches would just keep the ball in play.
Okay, well, that's
my issue with that, and they got to adjust to that. Otherwise, they're going to have touchbacks at the 35 every drive.
Yeah.
So,
right, they've taken that away, though. Essentially, given how the game's played, you don't see the kickoff anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they're working towards, is putting it back in with this 35-yard touchback.
Okay.
Is there something that they could drastically do? I don't know. I almost think it's like the 4-point shot in like basketball. They'd have to go that far to really be going after like a big gimmick that would be like, all right, what are we doing here? We're really wrecking this game. It'd have to be something that big.
Yeah.
Something in the rules.
America votes. The intensity, the value. This Jerry Jones Dallas show is mind-boggling. They haven't won a thing. It's their teams are dysfunctional, and yet they just are worth billions. I think they may be $9 billion now.
I think they're up to 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, around there.
All right. Wow. All right, let's go to Phil in Delaware. Phil is on Talk Radio 1210. Thanks for leading off, Phil. Afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Glad to hear you. I was in Washington as I go every Tuesday for courier runs, and the National Guard, they were specially focused over at the transportation center off Capitol Street. And, of course, you got your demonstrators in their face taunting them. which just is ridiculous.
Yeah, and did you happen to see, Phil, last week was the first week in quite a while, there was not one homicide in Washington. Not one.
Well, you know what I like is the next morning, all the statistics of this arrest, that arrest, and where are all these arrests coming from if there's no crime?
Right, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense, but Cracker Barrel, I always get the grits with the cheesy eggs and the home fries.
Oh, my God. Tell me now. Well, Delaware has a foot in the South. Where did you get the grits thing from?
Well, we're lucky. The Delaware Memorial Bridge. I live in Old Newcastle, so you shoot right across the Delaware Memorial Bridge, and there's that Southern cooking right there at the foot of the bridge.
Oh, okay. All right, so, Phil, what's your side today, Phil?
Well, I just started using Lyft, and it's interesting. You can book a ride and, go back 5 minutes later, and it's either been canceled because the driver didn't feel like going in that area, or the price changed. So you go back in, reset it, and it's like a game, a frustrating darn game to get the best price.
Gotcha. Thank you, Phil. All right. I don't know. That's kind of dreadful, I guess. That's what we're looking for. I have come through 2 of those. Now, each one was only about an hour, so I haven't been to hell yet. It's like one of my favorites. What's Dante's full name? Dante Albert, Joe of Exton. What's Dante's last name? Anyhow, he had the circles of hell.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
okay.
and was it 9? I should know that. Was it 9 or something like that? I would say I've only been in the first 2 circles of hell. What would be the 9th circle of hell? How do you know? All hope is lost. Who did Dante put in the 9th circle of hell? What did you have to do to get in there? Even in hell, there are gradations, You barely got it. That's why I love purgatory. You go into purgatory, you do your time, you're out. You're in heaven.
But that's the worst. That's like waiting in a waiting room.
True.
For the doctor or something.
Yeah, well, it depends on how long you're waiting. And then the Catholic Church has gotten rid of this, Henry, so you wouldn't have, I don't think, heard it. Limbo. These were
Is that not purgatory?
Well, these were for kids who didn't know anything, so they couldn't possibly have done anything wrong, but they were not necessarily in a state of grace. They go to limbo. It's like a waiting room that's nice. Is what it appears to be. Yeah.
Whereas, the airport lounge.
Frequent flyer miles to heaven. Whereas purgatory, you're right. That could be a while. A few hundred years. I've been here 1,000. All right, 855-839-1210. Coming up, we're going to talk with former chief of police for the Capitol, Stephen Son, in the news again here on Twitter. I follow him religiously about the situation in Washington. Now we're seeing a bunch of red states send in maybe 1,000 more National Guard. And they've been in a role of deterrence and, a backup role. They're not firing weapons at people or anything. And no homicide all of last week. None for a week. Now we have Larry Krasner here. We could bring in how many angels on the head of a pin? You can bring in 1 billion troops, and as long as Larry Krasner is DA, something's going to happen that's bad. 855-839-1210.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
The markets are once again near record highs, but only after a steep 20% drop in April. So many investors are afraid of missing out on market growth that they forget the cardinal rule of investing: buy low and sell high.
Carl Becker's.
Marilyn Becker's, Malvern, Pennsylvania. Now that the market is high, it is the perfect time to get into crash-proof retirement.
Being with Crash-Proof Retirement this year allowed us to earn 13% and as high as 20% returns on our investments.
A gain on Wall Street is only on paper. With Crash Proof, your interest is credited to the account, it becomes part of your principal, and it never goes backward.
There is a proven path to market-like returns without any of the risk. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Adelphia Restaurant on September 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Tomorrow's 6:45 Phillies Nationals game can be heard on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. The Phillies are on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT tomorrow.
Weather sponsored by Kitchen Magic.
We'll see a little bit of rain this evening with intermittent showers overnight, down to 64. Tomorrow, clouds, high of 74. Friday is supposed to be beautiful. Sunshine, high 83. Pretty much same for Saturday, high 84. We might see a few clouds on Sunday.
At Kitchen Magic, we remodel kitchens and baths with American-made cabinets, handcrafted in our own factory. This August only, save up to 30%. Visit kitchenmagic.com today.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, coming up here with Dom after one of the guys we really like, Chief Stephen's son. Just stunning what's going on in suburban Philadelphia. Delaware County Council is going to pass this sweeping, they say long overdue, ban on discrimination, LGBTQ, but mainly it's all the trans issues. One guy says, how did you raise us 23% in our property taxes and our taxes, and this is what you're engaged in? What the heck happened to Delaware County? All right, what happened to Washington? Not one homicide in the last week, even by happenstance. How does that happen? Got to have luck. But also deterrence, enough police, enough emphasis. Let's go to former chief of police of the Capitol, Stephen's son here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Stephen, all these stats that we see, that's the one that's pretty remarkable. Not one homicide.
You're absolutely right. I'm going to make it even better for you. And, Dom, thank you again for having me on. It's almost 9 days. So they hadn't had a homicide. And actually, just a few hours, it'll be 9 days. That, and a week hasn't happened since March of this year, let alone 9 days. That's phenomenal. The issue with the homicides are usually when you have somebody that's set on committing a homicide, they have somebody that they're going to kill. It doesn't matter if you have cops just right around the block or something like that. So this shows that these people are truly, truly concerned. I'm still surprised. I mean, right now, I think the latest is they've recovered 86 guns off the street. Who are these idiots that don't read the paper that realize there's hundreds, thousands of cops out on the street now and carrying their guns with them?
Yeah, that's remarkable. And Stephen, we're seeing more states emboldened now. There's at least 4 or 5, right, that are sending 100 here and 100 there. It's, I think, over 1,000 more of their National Guard in.
That is correct. There's 6 states, I think, that are sending over a National Guard. So it's just going to provide more assistance, more ability for the cops to focus on the more high crime areas, which they are. And also that stat that I think I mentioned to you the other day when I was on about no carjackings, still not a single carjacking has occurred. They had one, but no more have occurred since this thing kicked in.
Yet we're seeing the protesters and others, not large masses, but these people directly confronting and cursing at and going after cops. Many of them appear to be white people who don't, in my mind, live in these high-impact neighborhoods.
You're absolutely right. They don't live in the high-impact neighborhoods. They probably don't know anybody that lives in the high-impact neighborhoods. They've never probably even walked in the high-impact neighborhoods. So they're completely distracted. They're out there. They're just following someone's directions. I don't know who, but they're not helping the problem. They're actually part of the problem. You look at it. Look at the guy that threw the Subway sandwich at the federal officer. This guy screaming at him, calling the federal officer a fascist. Yet this guy works for DOJ. It's just these people are so disconnected with reality. It isn't even funny.
Stephen Sun with us. Stephen, just listen to this for a second. For listeners, they can see it too. This will be cut 14. Henry, I love this, and you'll be able to find it, but there's a little bit of audio if you listen closely, Stephen. A D.C. police officer apparently triggered this leftist woman protester, accusing her of cultural appropriation for wearing the Palestinian scarf. Here's the exchange with the woman. This cop, I don't know where he was trained. He didn't start hollering at her or whatever. He just told her she was a cultural appropriator for doing this. YouTube.com/1210. Here's how it sounded.
Appropriation by wearing a scarf that is trying to stop a genocide. You think that's appropriating a culture? Okay, in what way? How is that appropriating Palestinian culture? How is my wearing a keffiyeh appropriating Palestinian culture? Tell me. You're the one who said it. You're the one who said I was appropriating Palestinian culture by wearing a keffiyeh scarf. I support Palestinians, and so I am appreciating Palestinians and agree with Palestinian people. How is wearing a scarf given to me, in fact, by my Palestinian
Okay,
friends?
Henry, we get the idea. So she's got a bullhorn slung over her shoulder. How do they train these D.C. cops? This guy didn't, just take it or get it. He calls her a culture appropriator. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not going to be part of the training curriculum. I'll tell you that. It's probably some of these cops have just gotten so fed up with these people that I think he just let his emotions get a hold of him, and he said something that that's not stuff they're trained to say, and he probably he knew it was going to trigger her, and it did.
So your book, give listeners a little bit more on the book and how that's going.
Yeah, so the book is all about January 6th, and I appreciate you plugging it. It provides everyone with the truth. It's called "Courage Under Fire: The Definitive Truth." From within the Capitol on January 6th. I'm sorry. It's available on Amazon. There's the hardback, and then there's the paperback. Get the paperback. The paperback's the most recent version. It has the most up-to-date information, but it'll take you through minute by minute what I was facing on January 6th. Not only January 6th, the days up to it when I was requesting federal resources and being denied. So you're going to get all that information. You're going to get the intelligence. It seems to be doing well. I just watched the numbers on Amazon. Besides that, don't really hear much. The whole publishing thing, that's a thing in itself. But I'm still continuing to work with Chairman Loudermilk, who's the chairman of the January 6th committee. After they exonerated me in December of 24, I've been pushing to get the benefits that were stripped from me when Nancy Pelosi forced my resignation without any process. So they're in support. They're helping to push it through, and we're hoping to get some support from the executive branch to get across the finish line. But I appreciate my whole goal of writing the book was to get the truth out there, because I can tell you right now the January 6th Select Committee wasn't going to put the truth out.
Here's what I wanted to ask you, though. What is it that you're hoping more information? Maybe you even know somebody's looking at, the new people, the FBI. Is there something else that we might learn that would clarify and back up this type of stuff you've been saying on the show for years?
Well, everything I've been talking about has now been supported by congressional report. The big thing I'm looking for, and the big hammer to drop, I want to know who put those pipe bombs there. Those pipe bombs affected my significantly. It drew resources away from the west front of the Capitol at a very critical time. So that was done. I have absolutely no doubt that was a diversionary tactic. And then the one at the RNC was first, DNC was second, and the DNC was also a distraction. One, why did that happen? And two, why is it that with Kamala Harris being down at the DNC and her having to be evacuated, are they not making a bigger deal of it? It's interesting. Maybe they don't want to make a bigger deal because they want it to go away. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to that being looked into closer. I think Chairman Loudermilk's going to do that and find out if there's some instigators behind this whole thing.
That is a great one. You know what? You're in sync with us here. That's the biggest thing listeners want to know about. Occasionally, I get some question like that, and I say, yeah, I want to know too. Chief, thank you so much. Keep up the great work. And again, you are our pipeline there. Thank you for joining us.
Anytime, Dom. Thank you very much.
All right. We're honored every time we have Stephen's son on. You heard some of the stuff he just said that's going on there right now. By the way, Andy Reid's office now has bulletproof glass. Apparently, gunfire erupted in another blue city, at least the mayor is there in Kansas City. After midnight, May 2024, it was struck by gunfire, so the Chiefs don't fool around. They put in bulletproof glass.
What the heck?
Yeah. Well,
going to the Chiefs facility at midnight. And
I know. I may have been random. You know what I mean?
I guess it had to have been.
That's one of those places, pretty violent. You may remember that one Super Bowl win. I think the one before the Eagles won. People were killed there. So, yeah. I think random. I don't think they were mad. They won the Super Bowl that year. Okay. Hit us on the side. And coming up, we often talk Bucks County leads among the suburbs for obvious reasons. It's a fascinating place. Just think of the cast of characters there, right? And Trump won it. Montgomery County, because it's little Philadelphia, that radical. But the one that is really radical, and Republicans used to control Delaware County as much as Democrats now control Philadelphia, is in the news again. These sweeping anti-discrimination, mainly transgender issues, passing all kinds of things on that, and they just raised taxes by 23%. Is Delaware County now arguably the most progressive county? I would have to argue their leadership is every bit as progressive as Philadelphia is, particularly when you realize they're in the suburbs. All right, 855-839-1210. Let's talk for a moment. I constantly remind you about extra energy boosts and our friends at N3. As we age, our bodies produce less of the natural fuel that's needed to combat fatigue. Discover Rescue Orosine from Rescue Natural Supplements. Rescue Orosine helps enhance energy production at the cellular level, supports a healthy heart, and maintains optimal blood pressure. Plus, right now, our exclusive offer to radio listeners, you can take advantage of this. Buy one bottle of Orosine, and you get another completely free. All you have to do is use the code FUEL, F-U-E-L, when placing your order. To place the order, visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, it's 800-262-5483. Speak with a knowledgeable rescue product consultant. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Remember, use the code FUEL at checkout. And again, mention FUEL, F-U-E-L, when you call, or use it at res-q.com. Get your second bottle of energy-boosting Rescue Orosine totally free.
We didn't take to retirement like we thought we would.
We got bored.
So I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. With more than a dozen languages to choose, Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks.
We set a goal for 15 minutes per day.
That's all we needed.
And Italy was just...
Bellissima.
That means beautiful.
In Italian.
From interactive lessons led by experts to conversation tips on real-life topics, Babbel's revolutionary teaching style keeps language in your head and easy to remember. Celebrating 15 million subscriptions sold. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, this is Larry Steiners with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Book your next office, bachelor, bachelorette, or private party at Bob's Little Sports Shop in Glassboro, New Jersey. What an amazing concept, right? Bob's offers men and women trained instructors, private and closed events that can host up to 30, book a smaller group, 10 or less during business hours, and have your own instructor for shooting range fun. Call for pricing and details. No alcohol or drugs permitted on premises. Call Bob's to book their co-ed shooting event Sunday, August 24th at 1 p.m. Bob's also offers private and group lessons on introduction to firearms, shooting and cleaning classes. Bob's instructors are certified NRA and range safety officers. Firearms ID cards are not required for anyone attending events, and no experience is necessary. Bob's also hosts shooting events for new shooters or anyone interested in learning about proper firearm ownership. Visit bobslittle.sportshop.com. Bob's Little Sports Shop in Glassboro. This ad sponsored by Bob's Little Sports Shop.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992 today.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Free speech in Philly on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Great side question. Something you dread. Doesn't have to be the most life-threatening. Doesn't have to be Dante's ninth circle of hell. Joe of Exton, ring your office. I might be off by the circles here. But I just saw something. I'd like to believe it since January, what Pam Bondi said about 1 million people have left one way or another, self-deporting illegal immigrants. The Pew study is out today. They say more than 1 million. Now, they don't call them all illegal. They just say, I don't care. If they don't want to be here, they don't want to be here. If they're here illegally, we don't want them here. But more than 1 million. It's happening. Now, given the numbers they put up, it's a drop in the bucket. Jersey, they guesstimate, has 600,000 people that are here illegally. That probably means they have 1 million. Will that come up during the governor's race? I hope it does. But even Pew saying, one way or another, 1 million. Now, you see these people all the time, but they don't want what ICE is doing. But then they try to tell you they're not really getting a lot of people out of here. Well, a lot apparently are self-deporting or not coming or can't get in. 1 million plus, Pew says. They're kind of down the middle, slightly left. So it's not being touted by a conservative group. It's happening. And you're going to see all kinds of benefits attached to that. It's not happening soon enough, though. So when school starts next week, and I believe Democrats truly don't want to settle this, they want pain inflicted and Republicans to be the ones attacked with the SEPTA stuff. How in the world are people in Northeast Philadelphia, how are you still going to vote for Democrats? I'd love to get a focus group. You're going to have the entire freshman class. Will there be a ribbon cutting with 22 trailers in a modular situation? The entire freshman class going to school outside Lincoln High School in modular trailers. Call them what you will. So we're concerned, oh, we can't get our kids to school. Those rotten Republicans. Well, they're not going to school, Joshie Shapiro. They're going to a trailer park. 22 giant trailers into a modular. That's creativity. And why is that? I'll say it. It's obvious. Illegal population. That's what's happened in Northeast Philadelphia. So is Northeast Philadelphia going to recognize these things? And when we get our shot in November, vote for Judge Dugan, go after Larry Krasner, we'll see. All right, it's 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that you have to do is just push pound 1210. At 1:30, we'll talk with great attorney Greg Jarrett about Trump having this appeals court say, no, you don't have to pay the $515 million fraud case. I didn't even know that was still a thing. It was still out there. Also, he's been breaking this news on Fox about so-called anti-fascist, now violent gangs around that, arming themselves to fight the fascists. Yeah, why not? Bill in Bucks. And Bill, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Bill.
Hello there, Dom. Sorry about that, but I forgot to wish you a happy National Radio Day yesterday.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
To you and your staff and all the folks down there at the 2400 Market. So, yeah. Anyway, I just had a question about this National Guard.
Yes.
Having me served in the U.S. Army Reserves, I was a federal troop at the time. But the National Guard obviously is not. It's state. But in D.C., it's federal. So my question is, all of this hullabaloo about this, where does the Posse Comitatus Act come in?
That's when it's military. They're not military.
If you're federalized, you're military.
Not in the District of Columbia. I think I don't know the exact language with Posse Comitatus, why it doesn't apply with National Guard in D.C., but it doesn't. Otherwise, they would have cited that. They would have tried to stop it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the president federalizes the National Guard, they come under the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 during the Reconstruction after the Civil War. That was the purpose of the thing. So I just don't know. It's a gray area to me, and I just try to figure it out. I just thought maybe you
No, I would rule that given the special status of Washington, D.C., that wouldn't apply. There is a 30-day limit on this, though. I don't know what you have to do after that, what you have to prove to keep on going. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute, Bill. President Trump is going to go on patrol in D.C. tonight. Just came down.
Okay. I hope he's wearing body armor.
Well, we don't know. Is he going to be in the presidential limo? Is he going to drive like the garbage truck or whatever? Oh, my, we got to play with this. So,
driving
Bill,
a squad car.
Yeah, what's your side, Bill?
Oh, the side question. Yeah. I do have a side answer. My side answer is trying to find a parking spot in South Broad Street.
All right, that's a good one. That is dread. Absolutely. So Trump will go on patrol in D.C. tonight. Let's see if we can get you some more details on that. I think it means he'll be walking with the Secret Service and everything else. I don't know. I've done 3 ride-alongs, and when you actually do that, you get a real sense of what people face, what cops face, and it's shocking decisions and stuff that they have to do. But I don't know if he'd be walking along with the National Guard in various places. Is he going to go to Union Station? Oh, man. All right. Can we get a press pass to walk with him on this? I'd get down to Washington tonight to do that. This will be my advice. Don't put it on the headgear. No hard hats or something like that. No riot hat. Messes up the hair. I don't think Trump's going to do that. We'll see. He's going to patrol D.C. alongside military personnel and law enforcement. All right, that's what we're seeing. All right, so it's 855-839-1210. You get a line. Get in on the side question. Greg Jarrett coming up at 1:30. And I'll give you more details on this Delaware County progressive crew. Is Delaware County more progressive? I think I can make the case they might be more progressive than Montgomery County. And the population, you would think, in Delco is not as progressive as Montgomery County's is. What the heck's going on there? 855-839-1210.
Yo, Philly, back to school just got a whole lot cooler. Switch to a Fios 1 gig internet plan and get the Bose Quiet Comfort headphones on us. Whether you're streaming, studying, or just relaxing with your favorite tunes, Verizon has you covered. So head to your local Verizon store now for more information. Offer valid in select areas through 9/23/25 for new home internet customers who install and keep eligible Fios 1 gig services in good standing for 65 days. Redemption terms apply. One offer per eligible Verizon account while supplies last.
I'm Jalen Hurst here for Window Nation. If you're a fan of saving money, listen up.
From now through August 31st, you can get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That's right, you could pay nothing until 2027. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com to get this great offer. Tell them you heard it on 1210 WPHT.
Don't pay more than you have to for new windows. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Okay, it is time to big news. President Trump to go on patrol tonight with law enforcement, waiting for more details on that, exactly what that means. Wow, here we go. All right, 855-839-1210. All right, so I mentioned Delaware County. Delaware County, as the Inquirer said, is poised to become the first of Philadelphia's collar counties to ban discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and, wait for it, gender identity. There we go. See what's going on with this crew. All right, I'm not going to rent to you. You're gay. No. It's the gender identity nonsense in schools and other sporting events and God knows what. That's what they're about. They interview Linda Embry, a Wallingford mother of an adult transgender woman, said parents of transgender individuals are facing an immense amount of fear for their children. When her daughter presented as a man, she was able to fly under the radar and face little discrimination. All that changed when her daughter began to live authentically. Now, as she walks through the street as a transgender woman, the amount of oppression she has to absorb is painful. But Joe Finio, a Marble resident, complained the council was too focused on social issues rather than financial problems. Delaware County raised taxes by a whopping 23% last year. In response, Councilmember Christine Rother argued that much of the county's budget is spent on social issues like mental health, child abuse, trauma from bullying, and crime victimization. She said LGBTQ Americans face disproportionately high levels of mental health struggles. There are people who have differences in the way they live their lives and how they're seen. They need to be addressed. And she seems to be implying that would cut cost by doing that. The chair of the Media Republican Party, Michael Sierra, told council members that as a gay man, he supported the non-discrimination ordinance, but he asked if the non-discrimination ordinance could be passed without the commission because the costs running the commission could create for county government. Let me see if I can tell you anything else here. Let's see. The part that got me was the gender identity part, okay? You know, the other, we've been there, Supreme Court, gay marriage, everything else, right? The gender identity part, though. What does that mean around various trans issues? That's where this is headed. All right, so I'm looking at Fox that Trump will go on patrol tonight. We'll see exactly what details. This has been, at least as far as fighting crime, a rousing success. And Democrats, once again, are attaching themselves to something that is, I don't know if this one's 80-20, might be 75-25. There are people in D.C. that don't want to see as many police. There's no doubt. But by and large, the numbers and what's going on here, and the National Guard is more just a deterrent force as opposed to actually being the enforcers. It's a force multiplier. That's what's working here, and it's increasing, particularly the train station. I mean, we had Scott Jennings on. You go through that train station. I've had a similar experience. There's a lot of people that are homeless, probably mentally ill. There's chaos and all that. Maybe not so much now. And again, this is the point that keeps on getting made. This is the nation's capital. So you would think that we would see more of this. You would think that this is something that would be welcomed. All right, one other thing, going back to school. And I thought about this before. It's not a perfect solution, but people, are worried about school shootings. We go through spasms of these, without a doubt. Now the new thing is to have drones on campus. They would be stored in secure boxes on campus, can be deployed within 5 seconds of silent panic buttons being activated. The drones, operated remotely by a team in Texas, this new contraption, provide constant live video feeds to first responders and, in some cases, fire non-lethal projectiles to delay or incapacitate an assailant. So, in other words, we hear this all the time. The best the cops are going to do is 90 to 120 seconds to be anywhere near there. Now, I would prefer people on campus that can return fire and stop this, or at least till the posse arrives. But drones that will both give first responders a good sense of what's going on and also maybe fire at someone who's firing at someone else. I don't know about the non-lethal, what it would do to them, etc., but that's what's being talked about. But the world is aflame here on Fox with Trump going on patrol tonight. All right? this Secret Service nightmare for them, I assume. I don't think he's going to be riding around in a limo on patrol. I think he's going to be walking. Kirk, you had something there?
I was going to say, I think he's going to. Hopefully, he's not going to be like in a Pope-mobile kind of thing.
No, I don't know if we'll go in the subway. I think. Now, look, if he goes to the train station, now here's the only problem: if he's on the street and all, and they're moving, it's going to be pretty hard to have massive protesters. But these people the other day were just seething. They were out of their mind when Vance and Hegseth were there. You have Trump at the train station. There's going to be thousands of them. I mean, it could become an issue. You need, I feel for the National Guard and the Secret Service then, you need a lot. You know, they're mobs. They're seething. They just can't get enough to go after this stuff. All right, so it's 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. This is, I think it's a good idea. The logistics, though, the infrastructure of protection of the president, as I said, with the various mobs that are there, they live for something like this. And this gives them a warning tonight. And the train station is one of the epicenters of this. I don't know that it'll go into the subway either. So it's a bit of a nightmare for Secret Service. Yeah, no Pope-mobile. Don't drive around in the limo. Maybe Trump would like to drive. I don't even know if he drives. He strikes me as a guy that doesn't drive. He drives a golf cart.
He drives. He's got a license. He drives.
Yeah, but I have not seen him drive anything.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him operate anything other than a golf
No, and
cart.
you lose it, Kirk. You know, it's one of those things. That's the biggest thing, I think. You get out of touch if you don't drive. You got to drive.
That is true.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
You're
So,
absolutely right about that.
yeah, being driven around all the time, it's like, oh, God. Shove over, Secret Service.
Well, you don't like that to begin with. You think you got to make small talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
No, that's Riccioli. He says he's taking the train because he doesn't want to have to talk to the guy. Yeah, yeah, the guy. It's like Elaine with the jumbles and all. Yeah.
Pretend to be deaf.
Yeah, pretend to be deaf. Let's go to Gary in Newtown. Gary is in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Gary, welcome in.
Hey, Dom. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
First it's French fries. Now it's a ride along. I kind of agreed with the French fries. I think that was a pretty cool thing to do. It was apropos of what he was being made fun of and what the point we're trying to make. But I'm not really a big fan of doing the ride around. I'm really not.
How come?
Because I think it's a glory hound-ish. There's really no point. I mean, all of the YouTubers in the world can just video or record and put on YouTube what we're seeing in D.C., which is a phenomenal thing. But I don't necessarily we need to put the president at risk. I really don't. It's not, to me, it's not something that's smart.
Yeah, I don't know how much risk will be at, but you're right. Anything like this, there is some degree of risk, and it puts the Secret Service, because you can have a mob coming at them. That's the thing that would be tricky rather than something else.
I certainly wouldn't announce that I was going to do it. I might have done it, but I wouldn't announce it.
Yeah, you know what? That would have been better. And then toward the end of it, he goes on True Social or whatever and says, I'm just coming back. I was out there. Here's what I saw. Yeah, that would have been safer. Yeah.
As far as the side question is concerned, you and I agree on a lot of things, but I'll say I do edge. I would rather come edge your neighborhood. I would rather eat a dozen oysters like you did last week. I'd rather make out with a girl that just smoked a cigar rather than clean my garage.
Oh, brilliantly put. What metaphors. All right, smoke the cigar. Oh, God. All right, cigar-smoking women out there. Gary of Newtown is stepping up to the plate on here. He'd rather do that than
Gary
clean
really
out his
doesn't want to
basement.
clean his garage.
Yes. All right. 855-839-1210. Somebody must have messed with the closed captioning here. I don't know if we can restore that because I want to see what Fox, I got to get some details here from them of exactly what he's going to do as far as where he's going to go or what type of deal. I don't think the risk is the risk of what he faced in Butler. I think it's more if they know he's going to be at that train station, they'll bring 10,000 people out there. The other day with Vance and Hegseth, they were just seething to get at them. And that's not the president. So bold move. Interesting. I take Gary's point. Do it, and toward the end of it, announce you're out there doing it, then go back to the White House. Might be the play. But I do think it's supportive. I believe in the ride along. If more people did it with cops, I'd love to force some of these big mouth Democrat progressives, like the people over here in Delaware County, to ride along with cops. What the hell happened to the suburbs? That's my biggest contribution the last 10 years in talk radio, probably. I just don't understand it. Bucks County's still holding its own. I think they're going to elect Fred Herron and Scherer, the district attorney there. But Montgomery County is little Philadelphia. Chester County, horsey country, is allowing those people to run amok. And Delaware County might be the most progressive of all. Gender identity, bans on that. All this stuff on trans and trans support. I mean, what do you take if you're a school district there and you're saying, no, we can't have males compete against females? You're probably violative of this progressive mob here that runs Delaware County. And again, I'd have to pick a year. At a point in time, Delaware County was every bit as they had a thing called the War Board that ran it. They were every bit as Republican as Philadelphia was Democrat. I know that's hard to believe. That's how much it was a one-horse town. And now they're not just liberal. They're crazed. What are people there thinking? Let's go to Joe in Broomall, middle class. Yeah, that's a good spot. So, Joe, what happened to Delaware County? What's going on?
What I think, Tom, is most people moved from the city or other areas that were very Democratic, and they moved out here to Delaware County, and they elected a county council that has every single person on there is a Democrat.
Right. Exactly.
I don't even know if that's legal.
Right.
But
yeah, they are.
They're very progressive.
And they're progressives, not just liberals. That's all true. And 23% raising your taxes, unprecedented.
And we're going to get another around 20% coming up this fall.
Well, what's the reason,
So
Joe?
I go to most of,
Yeah, I mean, I know this, that we have people that move to the suburbs and they bring the same failed values with them.
Yeah.
What happened to all those Republicans, Irish Republicans and the like that were there, moderate Democrats? Where did they go?
they must have died off.
Okay.
My area, I live in Lawrence Park, and we are big time Trumpers here. But if you move, like you go to Havertown, Harrisburg,
Yep.
It's like, what happened? Because for 24 years, I taught driving lessons for a part-time job, right? And I drove around everywhere. And I talked to the parents and things like that, and a lot of people don't even know what's going on in their own county. So I think it's a lot of neglect that people don't know what's going on. We go to the board meetings, the council meetings, and a lot of people don't show up. And then I talk to people when I'm at the gym or something, and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you got to get out and get to some of these meetings. These people are going to run us right out of freaking town.
I hear you. And you know what, Joe? I deem where you are, Lawrence Park, I know it, Broomall. That's kind of the middle-class exemplar of Delaware County. It's like, it's like Levittown. It's almost like a Levittown in Bucks County.
Well, $600,000, $700,000 houses.
That's hard to believe, too.
So,
yeah, that's hard to believe.
And the taxes used to be a bargain here. They're not a bargain anymore. And there's a lot of people with moving signs in front of their houses now.
Sad to see.
So we'll see what happens.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for the report. Appreciate it very much. Go ahead.
My old friend Charlie Alexander was running for the council.
Yes.
And the GOP here in Delaware County offered him a job to not run.
Oh, God.
And then they tried to smear him and get him everything off his thing of running. But it turns out he had cancer and he had to drop out. But they're not. In my opinion, the GOP and Delco are Democrats.
Thank you. I don't know about being Democrats, but guys, you're ineffectual there, the Republican Party. Sad to say it is. I'm not a guy who's going to pull punches on that. I don't see it. That's one of the reasons. And it's the whole thing. He's right. People coming from places like Philadelphia, et cetera, fleeing some stuff. And then they come and mess up a place like Delaware County, which was middle class and basically ran itself, etc. It is stunning to see this continue. But the gender affirming care part of it, all right? 855-839-1210. So we're in for a great show tomorrow, I can tell already. President Trump out there on patrol tonight. All right, hit us on the side question. We're going to talk to Greg Jarrett about this New York appeals court throwing out the Trump civil penalty of $515 million. But Greg has been hot on this group of so-called anti-fascists who are violent, pushing back against what they call fascism. He's been on Fox a lot with this. It intrigued me, but we'll talk several things with him. Your calls are next. Talk Radio 1210.
Jack Chitterelli, I've known you a long time, and you and I consider you a friend. We've gone to games together. We've hung out. I've done events for you. I'm doing more events for you coming up this fall. But it is sauce. It's not gravy. It's only gravy when you put meat in it. Come on, Jack.
In our house, it was only sauce when it was fish, so we make a fish sauce. Otherwise, it's a gravy, Rich. Come on, don't let me down. Don't make me call you a Magan here. You're not a Magan.
Oh, man. This is to be continued, all right?
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
It's time to cut your old point-of-sale system and revolutionize your business with PDQ POS. Joe Flynn and his team at PDQ have been the industry leader for over 35 years. They offer everything from mobile POS to self-service kiosks and the best service and support in the industry. For the fastest, easiest, and most reliable POS available, trust PDQ POS. No matter how many locations you have, they'll build a custom solution for your business. Visit pdqpos.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Deborah Heart and Lung Center and Cleveland Clinic Heart Vascular and Thoracic Institute have formed a powerful alliance. Legends in caregiving New Jersey families, the most sophisticated heart team in America. Innovators in research and patient care who've made life better for thousands of patients, raising the standard for the next generation of care. The alliance between Deborah Heart and Lung Center and Cleveland Clinic Heart Vascular and Thoracic Institute means the highest quality care close to home for you. DemandDeborah.org.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, Tom Giordano show. So we finally have one of these Biden people testifying today, saying something for once. You know, all the people, I don't know why he was that mentally incompetent, but we didn't see it, et cetera. Fifth Amendment. I reluctantly have to take the Fifth Amendment. What time? Fifth Amendment. Ian Sams. I don't know if you remember the guy. Youngish-looking, bald-headed guy. I thought he was one of their most effective. He was combative in a good sense. He testified about all these things he said about Biden, that he's mentally sharp as attack. And then he testified, though, under oath, he interacted only briefly with Biden 2 times in 4 years. 2 times in 4 years. They prop up Biden, weekend at Bernie's. Ian Sams comes in. Everything's fine. 10 seconds later, he's out. Only 2 times in 4 years, and yet he was one of the leading people out there testifying to his fitness. Now, is that criminal? We'll see. Is that violative of anything? 2 times in 4 years that he had access to him in any way, shape, or form, and yet he was one of the major people out there testifying to his mental acuity. And as I said, he was good. He was a jouster. First, I thought it was the guy that was testifying today about stealing women's clothes. Remember that guy?
Both bald guys.
Oh, God. Yeah, the bald guy. This guy was another bald guy, young guy. By the way, they're having a bald fest this weekend over in Grays Ferry with some rapper who I think is bald. And tomorrow we may do all-time baldies. That may be the side question.
We tried getting this Ian Sams guy on a few months back.
Oh, did we?
Because he was in charge of Kamala's campaign.
Ah, that's
or
right.
One of the higher ups.
Yeah, one of the higher ups. Yeah. So Ian Sams, as I said, I give credit where it's due. He was a guy who could mix it up pretty well. He wasn't stumbling and bumbling. And he just admitted, at least to his credit, he testified sort of, yeah, I met the president 2 times in 4 years. And it seemed to be, from what I'm seeing in the testimony, and these were very brief, and yet he's out there testifying every day and pushing back and saying, how dare you, to his mental acuity. Wow. Not hard to believe for what's going on so far. What will come of this? Why are we still doing it? Well, you have things like the 25th Amendment. You have who signed the pardons and other things. And you have who actually made presidential decisions. All these things have to be stopped. And if we ever get to the bottom of it, you're going to see there's 3 or 4 of them there that had big lanes of power, maybe even Dr. Jill Biden, or she was directing them. It's illegal and it's unconstitutional. But Ian Sams, 2 times he testified. Again, I give credit because the others just took the Fifth Amendment. Does he not see how preposterous this is, given his body of work and what he was doing, that he only saw Biden 2 times? We have, this is cut 15. We have another illegal alien here who also caused a major accident. And when asked about it, truck driver didn't even understand what they were asking him about. And Henry, I should have said it, it's evergreen. The New Britain police did answer Henry. I wanted to know, they said they were cracking down. Get them on Monday or Tuesday, the police. I'd like to hear, why did they have to take down from their website that this isn't about immigration, it's about following the traffic laws? I mean, that's all that they were doing. They could have left up what they said. We have menaces on the road here. Here's Trey Gowdy, this illegal alien driver, the one that caused the accident where 2 people were killed in this big U-turn he was making. This is cut 15, youtube.com/1210. Trey Gowdy says, hey, if Gavin Newsome is elected, and he might be the leading Democrat at this point, then what you're going to have is more illegal alien menaces on the highways and byways doing this very stuff. Here's Gowdy.
This story has a lot of people shaking their heads. You have an illegal immigrant who shouldn't have even been here, can't speak English, completely flunked the driver test where he couldn't recognize different road signs on the highway, somehow ends up getting commercial driver's licenses in California and Washington, sanctuary states. Now 3 people in Florida are dead. Your top line thoughts on this story?
There are 2 more facts that we should add to it. He's been here since 2018. So for 7 years, whatever asylum claim he's had has not been adjudicated. 7 years is a joke to not adjudicate something. Secondly, he comes from India. And Bill, if you and I were to sit together and brainstorm on the most dangerous countries in the world that we're dying to get out of, India wouldn't be on our list. So why is he coming to the United States? Why has it taken 7 years to adjudicate his claim? How did you pass a driver's test when you can't speak English or read road signs? Look, if you want California policies nationwide and Gavin Newsom's clearly running for president, this is what you can expect. It's a sanctuary state. California, they welcome people like this. Look, this ain't murder, but the 3 people are every bit as dead if it had been murder.
All right, there you go from Trey Gowdy. 3 people dead, and you can say, well, don't we have drunken truck drivers and all? And every time that's said, I come back to, look, we have our own problems. But I do know this. If this maniac were not in this country, those people would be alive. Your question, if this maniac were not in this country illegally, and to Gowdy's point, and Newsome driving 7 years, sanctuary stay, what the hell with the road signs, and then we're just looking at another guy. These people would be alive. That's all that I care about. I don't care about any other comparison. Get them out. Just get every one of them out. Get them off the roads. And I hope the New Britain police come on because I commend them. And I don't think they should have taken down what they posted and the watch that they put out there. They were exactly right. Can you imagine explaining to these families this maniac made this giant U-turn with a giant truck and they're dead? Well, you better not say he's here illegally. We still don't know about the maniac who allegedly stabbed a guy to death over in Kennett Square. People send me stuff every day. I can't get a straight answer. I think he's here illegally. Mushroom country. Allegedly stabs a guy to death, takes off, robs a whole bunch of cars, and then at the end they catch him burglarizing a house all in a couple-hour period. Yeah. These people are out of control. Get them out. All right, coming up, the great Greg Jarrett will talk about this, what he's been talking about on Fox, these anti-fascists who are violent. But I'll ask him about the president winning on this $515 million civil penalty. Next on Talk Radio 1210.
Hi, it's Rich Zioli. I'm joined here today by my friend, the co-president and CEO of Cooper University Healthcare, the one and only Dr. Anthony Mazzarelli. Dr. Maz and I are here to tell you about our buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. Not only is he my dentist, he's my family's dentist as well. And not sure if you knew this, he's Dr. Maz's dentist too.
That's right, Rich. Dr. Mike Veneria is and has been my dentist also. And, you know, doctors choosing doctors, that can be quite a selective process. And not only do I go to them, but for years, my sister and my niece and my nephew, the whole family goes.
Well, it's no secret. We're all delighted by the care that Dr. Mike Veneria and his award-winning team provide, and you need to check him out.
Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, implant dentistry, you don't need to look any further. Dr. Veneria's office does everything. Dr. Veneria's office also exceeds all CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control, like their centralized UV sterilization of airflow, which is incredibly important to me.
Locations are right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Your perfect smile's waiting. Call 856-786-2020 or visit veneriadental.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door.
Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Summer is here, and the good times are calling. It's the perfect moment to swing by your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirits store and get $2 off your summer favorites, like El Jimador Silver Tequila, Herradura Blanco Tequila, and Herradura Reposado Tequila. Perfect for backyard get-togethers or beach days. And while you're there, don't forget to grab a 4-pack of Jack & Coke or Jack & Coke Zero Sugar. Ready to drink in a can. Chill, sip, and celebrate responsibly. Whiskey Specialty, 10% ABV. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniel's and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniel's Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Tomorrow's 6:45 Phillies Nationals game can be heard on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. The Phillies are on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT tomorrow.
Weather sponsored by American Heritage Credit Union.
We'll see a little bit of rain this evening with intermittent showers overnight, down to 64. Tomorrow, clouds, high of 74. Friday's supposed to be beautiful. Sunshine, high 83. Pretty much same for Saturday, high 84. We might see a few clouds on Sunday.
Make the most of seasonal spending when you use your American Heritage Cash Reward MasterCard. Earn cash back up to 3% with every purchase. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/cashback. Insured by NCUA. Not a member? Join today. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Now back to the Piazza Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Greg Jarrett coming up shortly here. A lot on Twitter, of course. Sheriff Trump on the job. Trump patrolling tonight in Washington. And our buddy Newman Price just put up on Twitter a portfolio of the pictures around Lincoln High School. Just ridiculous what they're doing to accommodate 900 students in the freshman class in trailers. Again, we have to keep on making the case in places like Philadelphia with Larry Krasner on the rise. This is all tied together. This is Democrats. This is their policies. This is what they do. If you're in a place like Northeast Philadelphia, we've been talking about the suburbs, relatively middle class. I think it was Joe from Broomall, Lawrence Park. This is what they do. Yet Pew reporting that 1 million have left. Pew Research Day, big study indicating that. They also say Jersey is right up there in the top 5 as far as illegal immigration. All right, so Trump's making progress by leaps and bounds. That's pretty good for about a 6-7 month period. Despite all the hurdles, all the difficulties, and they're getting more people on ICE, and we're going to see more of this. And how do you look yourself in the mirror when you have this maniac making this huge U-turn at high speed, giant truck, kills 3 people? We just played you Trey Gowdy. Again, if he weren't here, if he weren't allowed to go wild with these asylum claims and nonsense and all that for 7 years, and somehow or another he can't read the road signs, he gets the commercial driver's license. Even a place like California, that's hard to believe, isn't it? No, it just gets overwhelming. Just let them do whatever they want and people die. And I don't want to hear about, well, what about when we, just shut up. We're trying to cut this down. Incrementally, we're trying to do that. The American people are with us. I just don't know in places like Philadelphia and apparently Delaware County now. What do you need before you see, say, this progressive group out there, gender identity, raising taxes 23%? I mean, who in the world doesn't see that this is out of? That's one of the reasons people used to move to the suburbs, to reestablish stability, lower taxes, well-run government. And now we end up with groups that are completely preposterous. All right, side question today. Today we're looking, given my experience the last couple of days with DMV, you heard that on the morning show. It was a lot of fun, but not while I was sitting there. Something that you dread, all right? Something that you dread. All right, one of our all-time favorites, noted attorney from Fox News Channel, one of the principal guys, Greg Jarrett, with us on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Greg, great day to have you on. It's always a good day. I happen to see your interest in this so-called, in quotes, anti-fascist group, that is violent. You got to be violent going after the fascists. Why did you get interested in this? What's going on with it?
Well, I noticed it, and there's certainly been a rise in, these shadowy anti-fascist groups. And transgender activists were recently arrested in connection with this armed July 4th ambush at a Texas ICE facility. So they've been charged with everything from terrorist-related crimes to, aiding and abetting, obstruction of law enforcement, and a whole host of crimes. It was so devious. They approached an ICE facility. They lured out agents by spray painting their vehicles, set off fireworks. So when the agents came out, they unloaded some 30 rounds, injuring one of the ICE agents. Those are serious crimes. And, unfortunately, we've seen a lot of this. Some of it is simply driven by a hatred of Donald Trump, his determination to close the border and evict, illegals, particularly criminals who are here in the United States. But, there are other groups associated with Antifa, which is a decentralized movement, doesn't, really represent an organization. But people and groups associate with their anti-fascist ideology that I suspect many of them cannot even define. But they arm themselves and they engage in serious violent behavior.
Yeah, this fascism stuff, Greg, my background, I think before I got into talk radio, and I still do a lot of it even nationally, was teaching, was school. The NEA says their prime mission this year is to fight fascism. Randy Weingarten, the AFT, her book is Why Fascists Hate Public Schools. They're both using that terminology, which, as you just dropped, they don't know. It's just a synonym for Trump or MAGA people or right wing, not what fascism really means.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's sort of one of those amorphous woke terms that has arisen during the culture wars, and unfortunately has taken an ugly and dangerous turn.
Greg, we saw today, Court of Appeals, and I guess the other side might appeal this, but President Trump relieved of the $515 million in the civil case, the fraud. And I remember at the time, if it's the one I'm thinking of, there was talk in New York they might have to repossess or sell Trump Tower and things like that to pay all this.
Yeah, it was outrageous, not only by the State Attorney General Letitia James, who brought the case because she hates Trump and campaigned on the promise to get Trump and then conjured up a phony case. But the judge, Arthur Engoron, bought into it hook, line, and sinker. And, it was clearly yet another of the lawfare cases. And understand, Don, that lawfare is a political weapon disguised as a legal one. And as a consequence, it's destined to fail when the scrutiny of the law eventually catches up to it, as it did today, with the ruling by the New York Appellate Division tossing out the roughly $500 million civil judgment against Trump. The penalty was outrageous and wholly disconnected to, the alleged wrong, and it constituted an excessive monetary punishment that violates the Eighth Amendment, which is what the 5 jurists on the panel ruled. Now, they do leave in place some of the injunctive orders, whether there should be monitoring in the future of the Trump organization. That part will be litigated, as well as the merits of this, absurd abuse of the law, a consumer protection statute that's never been used to bring a fraud case. It doesn't apply. It was a fraud case devoid of any actual fraud. The evidence and the testimony by the lending bank said There's no fraud here. We made money.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the takeaway phrase. As the guy who really has written some of the definitive books on Russiagate, what do you like or not like where we are right now with the exposure by Tulsi Gabbard and others? And Greg, moving forward on that, what do you see?
Well, Kash Patel of the FBI has been digging for buried treasure. And, he has discovered a trove of long-hidden documents that expose the corruption and, the suspected crimes of those who did two things. They conspired to protect Hillary Clinton and simultaneously targeted Donald Trump. And, the names of the bad actors are familiar to anybody who's read my books, The Russia Hoax, Witch Hunt. I mean, they're all there in these newly discovered documents. Comey, Clapper, Brennan, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Sally Yates of the DOJ, Obama himself, and, of course, Hillary Clinton and many of her top officials in her campaign. It is, Tom, a rogues gallery of contemptible figures,
yes.
Right? And, I think what is happening here is that the Department of Justice is taking a very close look at crimes that may have been committed. And I laid out a variety of crimes committed in my two books. And, sometimes the wheels of justice grind slowly, particularly when incriminating evidence is long concealed.
Absolutely, and you are on it relentlessly. Greg, the story that intrigues me the most today, wanted to ask to that point we just made. Ian Sams. Now, this guy I remember as a spokesperson for Biden, and then he was higher up, I think, with Kamala Harris. He was effective, though. I'll tell you that as a communicator, as a host, because he could parry, he could go back, you know what I mean? He could bob and weave. He didn't just say a talking point. Well, he testified today that even though he was one of the people vouching for Biden, that he only met him briefly 2 times in 4 years. And he's the first guy that actually has said, I'm commending him for it. You know what I mean? The other guy just Fifth Amendment. This guy said, yeah, it was 2 times in 4 years.
Look, anybody who was paying attention should not be surprised. Before the 2020 election, before, people even voted for Joe Biden, I wrote a column and did a podcast. It was entitled, If Biden is Elected, He'll Be the Marionette President Controlled by Others. And you could see it during, the pandemic-riddled election where they used it as an excuse to hide Biden in a basement. They'd trot him out periodically, for proof of life, sort of like dragging around a weekend at Bernie's, right? And they were very cautious. They would actually script any favorable interviews that they had. The guy was out to lunch. And it only grew worse when he took office, and particularly in the last couple of years. And we all saw it. I mean, you could see it on stage. He stumbled, fumbled, and mumbled and, couldn't put a subject with a predicate. And he was obviously suffering from some form of mental deterioration. He had no business being president of the United States. But they hit him out in the White House, and only a select handful, his inner circle, was ever allowed to interact with him. So here you have one of the chief spokespersons who apparently, saw him twice.
Twice in 4 years. He said it. Yes.
I mean, it's hard to believe. So it's understandable that decisions were not really being made by Joe Biden, but by others. And when it comes to using an auto pen, that could constitute the crime of forgery and fraud.
Exactly right. And the pardons, too, in both ways, Greg, with that. So what's next for you, Greg? What are you working on, if anything? You're taking I know writing a book has to be arduous, to put it mildly. Anything on your mind at this point?
No, listen, writing books is a miserable experience. I've done enough of that. So I'm taking a vacation from being an author.
All right. Let us know when you come back on that vacation. But day to day, we always love hearing you. Thank you, Greg, very much.
My appreciation to you, Tom. Thanks very much. Take care.
All right, Greg Jarrett here on Talk Radio 12. Yeah, Ian Sams. Well, I did see him 2 times in 4 years. At least the guy said something. The first, it has not fully taken the Fifth Amendment.
I was going to say,
yes.
real quick, he makes dreading. We're talking about the side question.
Yes.
Dreading running a book. Yeah, that's.
You know what? I've tried to do it. I'm not going to have a ghostwriter. Wouldn't do that. And I have a lot of material. I did interviews of people when a teacher came into their life that changed their life, that type of thing. People like Dr. Phil.
Okay.
And Dr. Phil said he moved around a lot as a kid, and he went to this place in Colorado, standing there for football practice or something. He's thinking about coming out, and the coach says, throw the ball to the fat kid over there. And he remembers that. Mike Rowe was a stutterer. So he got into drama somehow or another. Had this coach thought he had this teacher and said, Mike, play somebody who doesn't stutter. And apparently that turned around. And sometimes in this, they break down. They're tearful. Jennifer Ferraro. No. The woman who ran for vice president. Why am I? Yes.
Sounds like.
The story was they were going to kick her out. They didn't have the money at this private girls' school she was going to, a Catholic school. The nuns here laundered the money with the nuns in Italy because you couldn't make real estate deals then after the war by treaty, and laundered the money so that they were able to sell it, and she was able to remain in school. She told that story for like 20 minutes. So
Geraldine was the name.
Geraldine, yeah. Why? Yeah,
no one has that name anymore.
Yeah, and I was friendly with her. So my point is that I have all that, and I started it. It is murderous when you go through it once, even with great material. Very difficult. Okay, more calls coming up. Dom's Money Melody yesterday was an all-timer. The great Eminem by some foreign country. I'm not going to say it again. Go off.
Kazakhstan.
But yeah, Kazakhstan. That's right. Coming up, though, I want to get into this. I remember when this guy said it, and I'll ask Kirk and I'll ask Henry. Share of U.S. adults who say they consume alcohol beverages is going way down. I remember the former Surgeon General when he talked about cancer and alcohol. It was like, get this guy out of here. It was toward the end of his term. And I'm still saying that. Why are people suddenly against alcohol? What are we talking about here? Wine's good for you. RFK Jr. would agree with me, I'm sure. Well, I don't know. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. Openphone.com/FREE.
Kia of CherryHill.com is home to the best Kia inventory in the Philadelphia area. Kia of CherryHill.com is a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles, which come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Selling your car? We want it. And we'll pay top dollar at Kia of CherryHill.com. Bad credit? No problem. Our goal is 100% credit approval.
Just minutes from all bridges or online 24/7, but only at Kia of CherryHill.com.
Imagine if today was the day your idea changed someone's life. Imagine if you could help someone pay for college, help your community build a new playground, or help a child make it to that dream competition. With GoFundMe, it's all possible. GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 200 million people. Every week, ordinary people meet their goals and do extraordinary things. Your ideas matter. GoFundMe isn't just for emergencies. Want to raise money for your kid's soccer team or raise funds for a small business, a creative project, or event? GoFundMe helps you turn ideas into reality. And help adds up. Fundraisers you start for someone else raise up to 5 times more. So think right now, who could use your help? Change rarely comes from waiting. It comes from someone deciding, today I'll start. Don't wait for someone else to bring change. Today, start your fundraiser in just minutes at GoFundMe.com/news. That's GoFundMe.com/news to start your fundraiser. GoFundMe.com/NEWS. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Tom Giordano show. So I remember it was, I believe, during I want to say December. It was after Trump had won, the last days of the Biden regime. And the U.S. Surgeon General, Vivek Murthy, released an advisory detailing the link between alcohol consumption and several kinds of cancer, called upon Congress to update warning labels on booze involving cancer. Well, Axios has a big piece up saying goodbye dry January because people are already dry. They're already going down this path. And I just don't understand Republicans. Among partisans, there's a drinking divide. Among Republicans, those who drink has dropped sharply in the last 2 years, 19 percentage points. What's wrong with Republicans? Johnny at Mulligan's, John, if you're listening, tell us. Are you seeing that downturn? Democrats have only dropped 3%.
Really?
Now, I know Henry is a big-time boozer. That was one of the highest qualities for this job that we looked at. And Greg Stocker commends that. We think that makes for great production. You know, when the host gets a little bit boring, they should be able to dip into something there. But, you know, I'm not even talking hard liquor. They're talking about even beer, wine, whatever. What did this guy set off? Are they afraid of cancer? Is this the Maha movement with RFK Jr.? In your age range, what's the reason, and particularly Republicans, no drinking?
I would think there is a health aspect to it. I don't think people like getting hungover. They don't like the after effects of, drinking a night out. And I don't think they understand the social aspect of it anymore.
That's where I was going to go.
So, I think that's a big factor in this as well.
But why all of a sudden? What was the trigger, do you think?
I don't think it was this guy.
Okay.
I just think I think the rise of, weed consumption has something to do with it. You'd rather stay in, get high. You're not going to be hungover the next day. You can still hang out with friends if that's what you wanted to do. But
it's kind of non-social, the weed thing.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I mean,
just
alcohol's the NFL. This is baseball, the weed consumption here, as far as the way I see it. Kirk, what do you say?
I also have another theory.
Okay,
Go
ahead, Kirk.
I was gonna say I don't think it's really. I think part of Henry's right. I think it is the not getting hungover, and I think too, drinks are expensive. I'm not gonna lie. So I think maybe has the cost may have something to do with it, maybe. But I think but as far as health concerns is, I don't people want to get hungover and get too, liquored up.
It's always been the way.
Yeah.
And again, you guys haven't addressed. Henry's got another theory. Why Republicans 19% down? That's something weird.
Republicans, that's a little odd. I mean, Democrats, I can understand. They lose everything.
Yeah.
They have to drink the pain away. But another theory I have is that a lot of Gen Z, we're putting up a lot of boundaries. You don't want to make yourself uncomfortable anymore. So,
that's also
and part
true.
of doing that is, going out when you don't want to go out anymore. Like someone's we're celebrating this. You got to come out, and you can be like, no, I don't really feel like it now. There's no societal pressure to, be there for someone else. So because there's no, you put up your own boundaries to prevent your own social battery from being drained. I think that also plays a factor in whether people drink alcohol or not, because they're not going out to begin with.
There's some Gen Xers like myself are not that social either. So that's also too. I mean, I think maybe Republican, maybe that's kind of a low number, but yeah, I think
19%, 6 times the number of Democrats that are swearing off alcohol. My God, how am I going to be doing mulligans? All right, 855-839-1210. Johnny on the front lines, you ought to tell us, do you see any of that? And in addition to that, have you curtailed, is it the Maha, Make America Healthy Again? A glass of wine? Come on, I can make the argument that is more helpful for you. But this guy talking about cancer, too. Ridiculous. I mean, you don't want to be hung. Drink in moderation, whatever your tolerance is. But my goodness, this is just misery. 855-839-1210. Grab a line.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-334-1155. 800-334-1155. Again, that's 800-334-1155.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. I want to tell you about a company that doesn't just do business in the area. They are an actual part of the community. Emmons Roofing and Siding. Emmons is family-owned and operated and local for more than 35 years. They treat your home like it's their own. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors, Emmons does it all. And with their Owen Corning Platinum status, you're getting lifetime protection. Don't mess around. Trust Emmons just like I do. Call them today at 855-4-EMMONS or go to callemmons.com and tell them I sent you.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CARGO25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CARGO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CARGO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
All right, it is dump time. Write the script already for tomorrow's show. President Trump, the news, is going to be patrolling the streets of D.C. tonight. What cop show or TV or film would this most be like? I'm trying to remember a president ever engaged in anything like that. We've seen the McDonald's. That was probably the best. The garbage truck was masterful if you read the campaign books. Could have backfired, though. Trump is having a little trouble getting into that garbage truck. You can't just walk up and jump in it, as a smooth. That's, yeah. Oh, yeah. You see Trump coming up upon these people. Oh, man. They'll be out there tonight, the protesters. But we got a lot of people interested. And I remember talking about this in the waning day. Well, first of all, the other big story today, we'll do more on it. Comer, just a moment ago, illustrating this. And I want to finish it. This Ian Sams guy, who I thought was somebody on the other side that you really could get into a back and forth. He was better than most of their people. He was the chief spokesperson. Then he was with Harris. He testified today. Yeah, I was chief. So I, went on all the hundreds and the tweets and everything else, how sharp Biden was. And he admitted he didn't take the fifth. He admitted he only interacted with the president 2 times. Now, I'm looking, guys, if you happen to see any more break on that. When were the 2 times, that kind of thing, that he interacted with the president? I'm not sure. He's the chief spokesperson out there doing all this stuff. And Representative Comer made another good point. This refutes all these other people, even though they took the fifth. This was the guy that was the chief spokesperson. And he admits, well, 2 times I saw him, that was it. I don't have the transcript, all the details on that. But I commend this guy, and it's kind of like I thought this guy was. He was better than the usual drivel they had there. And he, under oath, says 2 times. He didn't take the Fifth Amendment. I'm not sure why, what he was thinking about that. Does this tell us that all those that took the Fifth Amendment in this are going to have to answer now? They don't like this guy now. This scuttles a little bit of this. Also, toward the end of last hour, I was asking Henry and Kirk about these stories out there now that it's obvious. Downturn in consumption of alcohol, particularly among people under 40, let's say. Henry was full of theories here. He's trying to prevent this. And the kicker, Republicans down by 19%, Democrats only by 3%. Is it the Maha? Look, parts of the Maha movement, I'm not on board with. They're going after farmers, pesticides and all. You try, if we have a farmer out there farming without some of that. They want to say that everything in the world is bad for you. I mean, we've had on one woman. I won't have her on again. Is the drinking part of this stuff? I haven't heard RFK Jr. say that. I'm going to have to go back and see if he's triggering some. What the heck is triggering Republicans to say you can't drink? Based on what? As a health reason. You heard some of Henry's theories.
I just thought of another.
Yeah, go ahead.
The echo chamber of social media. You got someone on TikTok saying,
right,
I gave up drinking. Here's why. Here's how my life's improved since then. And they run you through it.
And there's also the same people on social media and on Twitter that will post if they get all out of hand. Case in point with that AG.
Yes.
Who was saying, I'm an AG. And
yeah, she kept on saying that weird phrase, I'm an AG. Do you know what an AG is? And the cop is thinking, oh, man, here's my moment. Hey, lady, that's it. It's over for you. The new form of saying, do you know who I am? I'm an AG. And the heckler, the sidekick there, she's an AG. And then she tried to say you have to turn off your camera, the whole thing. Yeah, but why a Republican thing? Who is it that is getting into their minds? Usually this would be a Democrat thing. Henry, they have a lot of losses. They have to drink more. I don't see it. 19% down among Republicans.
Is it Occam's razor? Like,
yes,
Republicans are enjoying what's going on. Democrats aren't.
Right,
there you go.
Exactly. But well, you would think you'd celebrate a little bit more, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
right. Is it a particular drink? Look, hard liquor, we all know you're doing an ad. You got to really do that in moderation, you know? But I have to defend wine. I don't drink enough beer to defend it or whatever. My beer consumption would be minimal. But wine, yeah, put some wine in here, Greg. Let's get a wine bar.
There you go.
How in the world can you make a case that that's detrimental? And I remember this guy, the Surgeon General, who was always suspect going off with all the cancers and all. You got to be kidding me. I mean, there's enough stuff in the world. We got to be in moderation looking at it. So I would tell you this, with the Maha stuff, I'm on board. But, you know, Kennedy's got some pretty strange dietary, the other night talking about fermented vegetables and eating more meat. Doesn't make sense to me to eat more meat, not seeing it that way. But some of the stuff that he's eaten, too, is he fueling this? Is it that, I mean, I get why Trump is anti-alcohol. You saw the brother die and all that stuff, but he really doesn't go on a temperance crusade about alcohol. Where's it coming from? Who are these influencers that are driving this? And Henry's had more theories here than in the last 6 months. It's like 8 by my last count.
It's boggled me, too.
Yeah, it is. It's disgusting, too. I'll say it right here. Give us a break. So now, suddenly, should we take the pints out of politics and just say, Scott Jennings is coming to town? That's our next one I have in November. I think Rich has a big one in October. Are we going to say, no pints? Are Maha women going to be there protesting politics and pints? Yeah. I would put pints first. Pints, and politics.
There you go.
There's something about this that's just creepy to me. It really is creepy. It's not scientific. It's not logical. And something's wrong with it. You just got to call it. Oh, my God. How much is Dom drinking here? Why is he? Who's paying him? Is it big wine? That's
5 o'clock somewhere.
Is Mulligan's big Mulligan's is behind me.
His Twitter page is going to be blowing up later on.
Yeah. So Johnny down at Mulligan's. I know you're doing other stuff. Check in here, John. We need your pulse on, or you can let him next segment, Henry. And so you see more. Boy, when we were at Mulligan's the last time, we certainly didn't. And the Dom Giordano day. Wow. They were packing him in.
They were packing him in.
Oh, yeah.
You're not wrong.
You had the footage. Alcohol was flowing. The Maha Mama's
Maha be damned. That was.
I didn't shake hands with anybody. They didn't have was holding a glass there. Yes. All right, let's go to Zenos. Now, Zenos, he's not going to be on this anti-alcohol craze. This guy's great common sense in Upper Darby, even though he has that cowboy stuff going on. Hey, Zenos, welcome in.
Good afternoon, Dom. It's good to talk to you again. I was trying to catch your show earlier, but I had errands to run. And you were talking about the Cracker Barrel thing. They want to get rid of the old white dude leading up against the barrel.
By the way, by the way, find it on Twitter. I can't say exactly what he says, But they have the guy, the old white dude with the Cracker Barrel, talking on Twitter about why they got rid of him. It's pretty funny.
Right, I'm going to have to check that out. My thing is with this company, right, before anything they start getting in trouble, I think they're self-woking. Is that a good word, self-woking?
Sure, absolutely.
Yes, and I think they want to do that, before all the communists and liberals come out of the work saying, hey, look, here's an old white rebel and all this other crap, excuse my language. In other words, taking away good old symbols of America and traditions. That's what they're after.
Okay, well, let's talk about one of those traditions, drinking. Why are Republicans, drinking less?
To my opinion, I don't understand that either, Dom. I love beer and I love wine. And wine, that goes back even with your ancestry and mine. If you drink something with moderation, that's what the Greeks believed, the metron, pon, and odyston, everything by limit would not hurt you.
Yes.
Now, they might think that maybe, trying to ruin that industry and that tradition of drinking beer, like the people with Budweiser made the biggest mistake of their life when they had that dude dressed as a chick,
Well, let me ask you, Zenos, who's in your estimation, I have one, who is the all-time top Greek? Was it the guy who founded the diner, or was it Socrates?
I think it will be Socrates.
Yeah, I'd go with Socrates, too. Yeah.
Socrates, Plato, Alexander. Yeah. We have a whole gallery of philosophers, that, and our Roman brothers and sisters, too.
Exactly.
But it would be Socrates, and not to take a wine. Greeks are now known too much for drinking, but when there's a special occasion, they love their wine, believe me.
Yeah, exactly. So, Zenos, what's the thing you dread for the side question today?
The side question is listening to those liberals on Channel 12 when they're bumming for money. That gets me so irritated. And the other thing is when I see these politicians, left-wing liberals, I cannot stand watching them, Dom.
Thank you, Zenos. All right. Yeah, the begathon has got to be tough. On Channel 12, I think I was on that once. They had me there doing I'm trying to remember back.
So Zenos at one point probably watched that, saw you, and rolled his eyes.
Yeah, I used to be on the, you had to go to Wilmington to do it. And they said, well, this guy's not from Delaware. Well, we kind of, is it Delawarean or Delawarean? I say Delawarean, not Delawarean. Yes. All right, come on. I'd love to hear somebody, Henry's age range, Kirk's. Why is it 17% down with Republicans, only 3% down with Democrats, alcohol consumption? Got to do more research. This is a troubling thing here. All right, but first, it is time. Yes, the magic moment for a big prize today. TBA. No, I have the prize. It is time for
Dom's Money Melody.
All right, we are playing today for a $50 Metro Diner gift certificate. Visit metrodiner.com to place your order today, and that goes a long way. $50 at Metro Diner. You have a great time. Henry, what do you have?
Yeah, Dom. So today we're talking about things you dread doing, but you just got to end up doing them anyway. And
right.
For a lot of people out there, I'd say that's going to work. Would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
Well, you wouldn't agree with that. You're living the dream coming in here every day. But I'd say most Americans out there, dread hearing the alarm in the morning, getting ready, going to work.
All right.
This person I'm going to play, however, did not. This person has had over a 70-year career doing what they love. And what they love is not making music. However, I am going to play them singing a song today. This is them with the band Canned Heat.
Okay.
I want to know this very famous actor who's worked for over 70 years doing various things. I want to know this actor covering the song. A little note about this actor. They've been on the show before.
Oh, so, that's always a good thing. All right,
go back in your Rolodex a little bit.
How's it going to get Dan failed? So you're up to get the great Eminem on the Dom Giordano show.
Haven't had a response yet, but we're holding out hope.
Okay.
All right.
And remember Mussolini's the all-time Italian, his granddaughter. I have failed in getting her on. She's a politician in Italy. Ms. Mussolini, how you doing today?
Yeah, all right. So yes. Eminem then Mussolini. That's
right.
My next guest list.
Too,
yeah. All right, so give me this cover singer who has been a guest on the Dom Giordano program before. Yeah, Dom. Not many
Wow.
people on this program who have had a 70-year career.
Wow.
So just
And
keep that in mind.
Is he a singer or an actor just covering it?
He's an actor,
An
but
actor.
he's just
Okay.
happens to be singing this.
70 years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. 855-839-1210. I don't even have I'm working on it. And I'd love to hear from you. Why are Republicans giving up alcohol? And is that suddenly seen as a good thing? Alcoholics Anonymous, don't listen to this show. 855-839-1210.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey, Daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
This summer, Hester Chevrolet is turning up the heat with summer savings on a great selection. Looking for a great deal? Lease a new 2026 Chevy Equinox, just $343 per month, or a new 2024 Chevy Silverado EV, just $699 a month. Visit Hester Chevrolet, Philly's trusted Chevy dealer, or check us out online at HesterChevy.com. Call 267-343-9094 for details. Hester Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Hester Chevrolet!
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We didn't take to retirement like we thought we would.
We got bored.
So I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. With more than a dozen languages to choose, Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks.
We set a goal for 15 minutes per day.
That's all we needed.
And Italy was just...
Bellissima.
That means beautiful.
In Italian.
From interactive lessons led by experts to conversation tips on real-life topics, Babbel's revolutionary teaching style keeps language in your head and easy to remember. Celebrating 15 million subscriptions sold. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Hey, it's Rhea. Drive in style this summer with a new Lexus from Lexus of Cherry Hill during the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. With over 300 new and L-certified pre-owned Lexus vehicles, you'll find the perfect ride for your summer adventures. Veteran-owned, family-operated, an elite of Lexus dealer, and a 7-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. Talk to Tony Labello and his team. They'll get you into the Lexus of your dreams with some of the best deals of the year.
For J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Never miss a moment from the Dom Giordano program again. Download the free Odyssey app and follow 1210 WPHT. And listen whenever and whatever works best for you.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, before we play the clue, just a little back and forth in the kitchen, Henry, and it seems like people subscribe to your theory. Weed is legal in a lot of places now. Maybe Republicans picking up on that, and they're doing that rather than drinking, and everybody agreed that's not as social as drinking.
Yeah, and partially what it has to do with that is there's no, weed spots. There's no weed bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can
there's no
imagine
social
a weed
aspect
bar.
to weed, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, a back alley.
Like it's either doing it in someone's backyard or in their basement or something.
Right, and somebody texted me about BYOBs, which I'll get to in a moment, and I might change the side question tomorrow. I am such a proponent of bring your own bottles. Oh, when I see that tacked on a restaurant, that's it. Nothing else matters pretty
Neon
much.
sign in the window. You're like, oh.
Giant. Bring your own bottle. Bring more of them, whatever you want. I'm already stocking up for this week. All right, let's hear the clue. All right, I hear it now. It's not as good as I thought in the beginning. Now I know who it is. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And he has been on my shows 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, recurring guest over the years.
Now, he's a guy you want to have a wine with. Let's go to, notice I didn't say beer. Let's go to, and Joe of Exton will be coming up. We have to find out his favorite drink. I'm sure it's a liqueur or something. Mark in Wilmington. All right, Mark, who is singing?
William Shatner.
It is William Shatner, exactly on the money, an all-time top 10 radio guest. You know, I might give tomorrow in honor of that, Henry, if I can distill all of them, my top 10 radio guests ever.
Oh, wow. You're going to hurt some feelings.
Yeah, that I've had personal experience with. You know, my wannabe, of course, Larry Krasner, the Pope, the previous Pope, not Pope Leo. It's no attraction to me yet. I don't know about Joe Biden, but Dan left that list for you here, you know, of some of the ones that are still out there that he promised me. Randy Weingarten would be on the list.
Wow.
Because, you're duking it out with her. It's big-time stuff. She doesn't talk over you. I had her on New York radio 4 or 5 times. It was nuts. Hope to get her on. Her book coming out on fascism. All right, so somebody on Twitter hasn't been sober. Yeah, maybe you should name it Politics and Pomegranates rather than Politics and Pints. We got to Politics and Weed. We need another name for that. Yeah. Everybody will have Scott Jennings high on the stage.
Puff politics.
Yeah, that's it. Puff politics.
There you go.
All right, Greg, we can work that up. It's got to be legal in some place here in the area.
Guess we're going over to Jersey for this one.
Yeah, we're going over to Jersey for that one. But it is Politics and Pints, and it's a great idea. 17% of Republicans not drinking in these surveys, 3% of Democrats. Is it just weed? They can use that. That's what they're going to do. And I mentioned the BYOB. Somebody texted me and said, well, the bars are not open. There's the BYOB factor that a bar, when, cutting down on the number of bars. I guess that's something. Yeah, but no greater invention than the BYOB. I dread it when they get their liquor license. Oh, God.
Well, what you're saying right now kind of also gives me another theory, is that going to a bar is too expensive.
Yes.
Same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Same way going to an Eagles game or a Phillies game, you got to pay $18 for a tall boy.
Yes. What would you spend on an average Friday or Saturday night, Henry, when you go out to a bar?
Well, it depends. I guess it depends on how loaded I'm getting, but like drinks usually, at least $6 to $12, I want to say.
Right.
Depending on what you get, where you are.
And how many? 3, 4?
I mean, I'm probably spending. And then I might buy a round for someone. Everyone buys a round or something, so I'm spending probably at least $100.
Oh, my God. Woo! This Greg Stocker, new money. This is like ice that's come into the producer's lounge here.
I can't be going out as much as I used to, because I don't have the money for that. I can't be spending $100 a night.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Same here.
All right, so one update to Matt Rooney, SaveJersey.com. The most recent poll from Rutgers, Eagleton. Oh, how nice of them. They're not fixing this one as much. Remember, they gave us a poll that Jack Cettarelli a while back was 20 points down to that juggernaut, Mikey Sherrill. They have him down 9 points now. I think it's closer than that, but that's progress. He's got a lot more name recognition. He's done a lot of good things politically. He says gravy, not sauce. I think that's going to carry him to the election win in the end. I don't know what Mikey Sherrill might say if she's asked that question. But down now 9 points in this poll that is skewed, is slanted, but even they have to admit there's a lot of traction here. I think the utility bills, it's an obvious thing. She said people will not have to pay them. She will freeze them as an emergency if elected. How's that going to work again? And she's blaming the people that run the grid in New Jersey for these high costs. Wants to go nuclear and solar. You voted for everything that killed the whales, windmills, etc. Those utility bills are sticky things that people are not going to forget. All right, the Earl of Tacony on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Earl, good afternoon.
Hold on one second. Take off the Bluetooth, that's the rule. Yes, what about politics and Pepsi, but with real cane sugar?
There you go. All right, Greg. I tasted that. It was okay, but it's still, how are we drinking soda and saying, oh, this is much more helpful for you just because it's real cane sugar? It's still soda. Come on.
Yeah, but I gave up drinking soda, and I ended up losing 10 pounds because at least you can metabolize the glucose, but the high fructose corn syrup is just empty calorie.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
But talking about the bars and everything and the drinking, I've noticed this. Drinking has been going down for years. You used to see more corner bars, but the real indicator is the number of diners and the number of diners that used to be open 24 hours. It used to be that the bars would close at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there'd be lines of people outside the diners waiting to get into the diner afterward. I'm not a drinker. I used to do the Rocky Horror Picture Show back in my high school days, and after the movie was over at 2 o'clock, we'd be hanging out, in a line outside of a diner waiting to get in. People don't do that anymore. I don't know why. It's just a societal shift.
Yeah, true. I think the weed thing, too, is plain. But, Earl, why the Republicans really going down versus the Democrats?
I really don't know. However, there is always a possibility. Like Henry, it could be the weed. I mean, now that John Boehner has a weed farm, maybe Republicans are more willing to accept weed now as opposed to alcohol, because it used to be just the liberals and the libertarians, because that was always the thing that threw people off from the libertarians. It's like, we believe in freedom, and then the pot people kind of moved in. There was always a pot wing of the Republican Party with Bill Buckley, but that never really caught on.
I gotcha. What's your answer on the side today? Something you dread?
He didn't screen me for this, so I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I always dread having to wake up early in the morning to go to work, but what I dread even more is having to wake up early when I don't have to go to work.
All right. Interestingly played. That's the side today coming off. Answer. Yeah, that's a very good answer. Coming off my experience, I'm taking a break tomorrow before Henry. I go for the real ID on Saturday because, the driver's license picture and then the birth certificate today. I've been through. I'm at least the fifth circle. And thanks to, I think it was Chuck that sent it, Dante A. His last name begins with an A.
Alighieri.
Alighieri. The great Dante. I have to read that again, The Circles of Hell, and how he pushed. Where are the progressives on that? You know, the non-drinking, the eighth circle of hell. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Hit us on the side question. Well, you know, for some people, going to, how's this for a segue, to the dentist. We had one woman that I got to go to Dr. Bent's, hadn't been to a dentist, still comes from Ocean City, 8.5 years. 8.5 years I met her. So when you have in the bullpen, though, my friend, board-certified prosthodontist and dentist extraordinaire, Dr. Robert Bentz, then it's not something you dread. And I'm thrilled to give you the great news, making it even better. Dr. Bentz is expanding his services and availability with a new prosthodontist joining the team in September. So if you're a patient with complex dental issues, maybe even putting off seeing a dentist, or if you're a general dentist that can use some backup on complex issues, Bentz Dental Group, that is your number one solutions provider. Now, I've been seeing Dr. Bentz, as you know, for about 10 years, always happy with all the things he's done that really improved my oral health. A lot of it convincing me, showing me. The water pick down, come on. The electric toothbrush and other techniques. You'll get on the road to great dental health and the smile that you've always wanted with Dr. Bentz. Call and schedule that appointment at 610-272-6949. 610-272-6949. Or you can see all that I'm talking about. Go to BentzDentalGroup.com. BENTZ dentalgroup.com. 610-272-6949.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Are you guys surprised in all this talk about federalizing everything, all the unsafe cities, that Philadelphia is not mentioned?
It's always New York or D.C. or Chicago. D.C. is 61 square feet, and they have approximately 3,500 cops. We are approximately 140 square feet and barely have more than that.
We're so far down with the vacancy rate, which was inherited by this current mayor. You hear others talk about it, but there's not the defiance by this mayor that you see from the other cities.
Yeah. Are we chalking up silence as a win, as silence as progress?
Well, I don't know.
I guess it can't get worse.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Tomorrow's 6:45 Phillies Nationals game can be heard on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. The Phillies are on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT tomorrow.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
We'll see a little bit of rain this evening with intermittent showers overnight, down to 64. Tomorrow, clouds, high of 74. Friday is supposed to be beautiful. Sunshine, high 83. Pretty much same for Saturday, high 84. We might see a few clouds on Sunday.
Experience the ultimate in luxury driving at Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, Wilmington, or Atlantic City. Get attractive pricing on select vehicles, including the C-Class, GLE, GLS, and more. Live out your Mercedes-Benz dreams today.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. President Trump, the big story, is going to be on patrol in Washington tonight. Ride along or walk along. We're a little unclear on that. No Pope Mobile. If he goes to the train station, that would be difficult for the Secret Service and the National Guard. I mean, the seething mobs there, that would be a confrontation. All right, the drinking thing, though, what is up with that? We've been talking about these numbers down. What is driving it all of a sudden? I happen to see this because, I love Scott Jennings and what he does. The other night, one of the commentators, Badia Sangor, was talking about the test, and we had on the head of the Oklahoma schools, rising star. If you come from a blue state, he has a test to determine you're not going to be indoctrinating in a red state like Oklahoma to be a teacher. And the questions that you're going to hear, the questions that she found on the test, we haven't seen, he didn't send me the whole test. These are all reasonable questions you would think to ask of someone who wants to be a teacher. So here's Badia reading 3 of the questions from this test that outrages progressives that you're even going to ask teachers this. What's the beef with these? Here are the questions.
But let me read some of the questions we did get. One question deals with gender, asking teachers to select from a series of multiple choice answers which chromosome pairs determine biological sex. Another question asks why freedom of religion is important to America's identity. Other questions include asking for the first 3 words of the Constitution, naming the 2 chambers of the U.S. Congress, and identifying the number of U.S. senators. I mean, these are all great questions for a teacher to be able to. Shouldn't a teacher have to be able to answer? It could be that there's like, how much do you hate Donald Trump is like in there.
Shouldn't
okay,
they
that
also
won't be
be able
great,
to?
But, I mean,
shouldn't they also be able?
No?
I mean, wouldn't it be more important to know whether they know and understand the subjects that they're expected to be teaching? Isn't that more to the point?
I think it's so concerning that.
All right, they went on, so concerning that we would even look at. Those are legit questions. And Henry, I don't know your analysis on this, but I mean, there's some audio, but it's youtube.com/1210. I wanted to make sure I played this since Gavin Newsome is all over the place now on social media, or his minions are doing that. Today, they did a parody of Trump attacking Cracker Barrel, when most of America, I think, is going to ultimately agree with Trump. I don't know how woke of a play Cracker Barrel is, but it's a corporate play that misses the mark, and there's a backlash here that's unbelievable. Just taking away that classic logo is suspect. Gavin Newsome, though, this is cut 6. Waters last night had this, and I remember it. I got to say, Newsome looks pretty good until he runs over a Chinese kid who's guarding him in China, and the kid's like 4 foot nothing if he's 4 foot. And Newsome can't just shoot over him. He's got to go behind his back to try to get around him. And when you do that, you get a little bit off balance in doing it. particularly if you're Gavin Newsom, and he runs over the kid. He kind of grabs the kid I call a charge on Newsom in this. Listen to this commentary. Newsom goes to China playing with a bunch of Chinese kids, and to get around this one little, what is he, 8 or 9 years of age, something like that?
Something like that.
He's got to go behind his back and make some moves that are going to result in him running over the kid. Here's how it looked and sounded.
Maybe Newsom should try the Pete Bobby challenge. 100 push-ups, 50 pull-ups in 10 minutes. Let's see what he's got. Because last time we looked, he was knocking down Chinese kids like bowling pins.
I'm getting old. I got to work on my balance.
When you get shots in,
there's still a little fish down there. Still a little left. See you guys. Tell everyone I didn't miss a shot.
Tell everyone I didn't miss a shot. They're going behind the back on an 8-year-old. I'd want to score on him, too. It could be embarrassing.
He was getting double teamed there. They brought the double, and he panicked. He had to get out of there somehow, so he went behind the back. And then
he forgot. You got to go slow here with 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
You can't be making a move behind your back, dribbling the ball. He did it pretty effectively, I got to say.
He does look like he can play a little bit.
Yeah, he does. So
better than any politician.
Let's take the challenge from Josh Shapiro, and let's put it out there to Gavin Newsom.
Ooh.
Yes, and there'll be a 2-part challenge. Basketball and hair. I have to get the hair pumped up here. His hair in person did look pretty impressive. And you know me, when he's standing there, when we were in the spin room with Newsom, I'd say he's 6'3", and I did not see any dandruff on a blue suit. I was looking for that to see if there was any possible dandruff there to ask about. No. Yeah. He in person, he looks impressive. Now, Josh Shapiro, if he debates him, that's going to be a problem, is probably 5'6.5", I'd say.
Well, they shouldn't even have a debate at this point. They should just play
basketball.
There shouldn't be a Democratic primary debate for president next time. It should just be one-on-one Josh Shapiro versus Gavin Newsom.
I would make Newsom
First to 11,
at least in a game of 25, 30, 50, whatever they're going to play. I make him at least a double-digit favorite. At least. He'll kill him.
All right, in a game of 21, what do you set in the line? How much of a favorite? How many points?
8.
Wow.
8 to 9. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Dang.
but just the size, and he's pretty fluid. And Josh Shapiro's just going to be jacking up jump shots. He doesn't drive to the basket. He's
Shapiro
just a
from way downtown. Bang!
Yeah, that's right. Now, Josh Shapiro's son, if you put him in there, it's a different story.
Now we're getting a family aspect.
Right. Yeah, particularly if Sept is on strike, the son's going to be angry, or somebody says capital punishment, there could be trouble. Yeah. But I was impressed. That's a pretty good move. He must have played, Henry, to think. But you can't do that with 8-year-old Chinese kids going behind your back at full speed.
Not if you're a politician.
That was a blatant foul.
No, that's right. That's a blatant charge. All right, let's go to Joe in Columbus. Now, this guy I'd bring out on the hair matches as my backup. Joe in Columbus, New Jersey. Hey, Joe, welcome in.
Hey, Dom. Did Gavin's beef tallow that he gobs in his hair allow him to slip off the screen?
If you haven't seen it up close, Joe, it is good hair. I don't see any dandruff, I got to say.
Yeah, but it doesn't move. It doesn't move. It's like, God, it's like a straighten out Brillo pad.
I agree. I like a little hair emotion myself. I agree with you.
You want goodwill with the Chinese? You're going to beat up 8-year-olds? Come on.
Right over at high speed behind the back. But there's a bunch of them. There's like 6 of them. You could really hurt a kid here. Yeah.
Well, that's the Machiavellian in him. He's got to win at all costs.
Yeah,
Come on.
Tell him I'm a good shooter. Yeah, the Chinese are now saying he's a good shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I could shoot over an 8-year-old too these days. My knees don't work anymore.
Yeah. What do you have today, Joe?
I got a question for Henry. Yeah. He says he only goes out and spends $12 to $15 a night, and he goes to a Philly game and he spends $36 on 2 beers.
Well, I think he said he spent 100.
Yeah, you're misunderstood. I'm spending 12 to 15 per drink.
Oh God.
Oh, okay. All right. I stand corrected, and I apologize. My side answer, Dom, and it's current. It just came up, but I can't stand it for the last 2 months. I forgot to bring my bill to Mulligan's.
Oh, yes.
I had to print it up, but it's a travesty. It went from May till currently. It went from $500 a month to $810 a month, and I can't stand paying it now.
Absolutely. Well, Mikey's going to put an emergency freeze on Joe. You won't have to.
Well, wait a minute. I heard they're giving the Pelosi crumbs of $100 now to make us happy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Thank you, Joe. All right, lightning round next. And Joe of Exton in line here. I don't know about his answer here, though, but 855-839-1210. You got to jump in. Something you dread. I've been through the DMV, having a picture taken when Greg Stocker says you're on the air, and almost the security guy marching toward me. Henry, what would you do? Would you stay on the air? What are they going to do to you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I didn't have my license yet, though.
The show goes on.
Yeah, but I need that license. Now, if it were the real ID, I wouldn't fool with those questions. Greg, you're going to have to be on hold. I don't want to fool with these real ID people. They reject you for anything. Talk show hosts, reject it. All right, lightning round next. Hit us with that thing that you dread on Talk Radio 1210.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, let's talk about prices. At National Appliance Warehouse, we have billions in buying power that we leverage in order to pass dramatic savings to our customers. We're passionate about offering the lowest price, so we developed Price Assured to ensure we always are. Price Assured uses powerful technology to scan chain store prices online and make sure ours is lower. Because Price Assured is connected to electronic tags throughout the showroom, it's able to update them instantly if an adjustment is needed. Our customers enjoy great service that rivals that of a small independent. While shopping with confidence, they're seeing the lowest possible price.
The Labor Day Mega Sale starts now at National Appliance Warehouse. Enjoy huge savings on GE appliances. Save up to 36% on select GE appliances. Browse an unmatched collection of GE, Cafe, GE Profile, and Monogram appliances. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob! Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Keeping free speech alive. Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT. WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, great one today. Something you dread. Dan's was walking the dog in the rain. Mine was the edging. Kirk, what was yours again?
I forgot now. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Henry, what was yours?
Shoveling a snowy sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, particularly if it's on the corner.
Oh, I tried
right.
going out into the supermarket shopping. That was
okay.
it.
Oh, that's right. No shopping for you. All right. Joe in Exton, this should be good. Hey, Joe, good afternoon. What are your thoughts on what's your drink of choice, Joe?
Yeah, Dom. My favorite drink, there are two. Italian dark wine and Greek ouzo.
Ouzo. Zeno's in there. We got to be
Zeno's.
drinking ouzo. We need some ouzo at the next Politics and Pints. All right, Joe, what's your side today?
Now, Don, this morning you were correct. In Dante's Divine Comedy, there are 9 levels to the Inferno. And Alighieri is spelled Alighhieri. For my side answer, in grade school, in 8th grade, for the marking period, I always dreaded receiving a C on my report card. But happily, the nun always assigned me A's and B's for character analysis.
Thank you, Joe. My God, Uzo and the nuns all in one call. How does he do it? You know, there are parody accounts now on Twitter for Joe.
It's only a matter of time.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Frank in South Philly. Hey, Frank, what's your side today?
Hey, Dom, you know what my side is? I hate to turn around and pay all the taxes, taxpayers paying the flights to all illegal immigrants flying back to their country and giving them $1,000. I'm seeing rats at nighttime doing that.
Hey, and Frank, thank you for the hospitality. Ro and I showed up at the wrong day on Sunday when your annual thing of all the food you provide and the wine, which is great. And you were like, what the heck are these two doing here? But you brought us into the lab. It's fabulous what you're doing there, Frank.
The canteen, Dad, give the right information to Dan. He missed out. You missed out on a barrel of wine that was on the side. I guess you missed that. You didn't see that.
No,
the barrel of wine
I did
was
not.
on the side over there.
But it's great food, Frank. We appreciate it. Go ahead.
Hey, Dom, there's in the Liquor Control Board, the lawmakers pass laws that it just makes ridiculous to turn around and own a bar today. That's number one. Number two, the young generation, they go in and have one beer, and they go outside and smoke a pot or whatever they smoke in today's world. And they made it so difficult. Now I'm going to tell you what the main reason why a lot of people close up the bars of today is because in the 80s, an old-timer told me once the casinos open up in the East Coast and all over the country now, they don't go into bars and restaurants to drink. They go to the casinos, so this way all the action is over there in the casino.
All right. Thank you, Frank, very much. Sorry to have to cut time here. One more. Drew in Upper Darby. Drew, what's yours?
Hey, Dom, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. You know, Dom, once a year, we all have to get our cars inspected. And if you're like me, a guy who knows nothing about them, you're at the mercy of the mechanic. And you know, Dom, in Pennsylvania, you used to have you had to have your car inspected 2 times a year.
Yeah, exactly.
In some states, you don't have to have it inspected at all. Like Florida, you could drive around with no brakes and no headlights. and it's good.
All right, let's go to Florida.
But Dom, when you get your car inspected, like you're shaking when the mechanic gives you the bill.
Let's go to Florida. No brakes, no headlights. Well, that sounds like downtown Philadelphia. Kirk, who did you like?
I'm going with Drew.
Go
with Drew.
It was a heck of a call at the end.
Going with Drew.
I don't want to have recency bias. It was a heck of a call, though. But what do you say, Henry?
Yeah, great call by Drew there. Definitely a contender.
Yeah.
Gary in Newtown, another great call. Also, don't like cleaning the garage or the basement, whatever it might be. But I felt the best answer today was the Earl of Tacony. Waking up early when I don't have to work, nothing worse. Nothing worse. Whether it's by accident or you got to do something, nothing worse.
Those were all good. I got to go, though, with Drew. Not because it was recent. I got to go with that one. The Florida comment. All right, put him into the hat. Tomorrow we decide for a $50 gift card. You'll have that at the end of the show tomorrow. Great guest and everything else. I see Rich puttering around out here. He's ready to go for 4 big hours. Follow me on Twitter at DomShow1210. And, you know, tomorrow we'll have to talk about President Trump and tonight's foray into the streets of Washington. Oh, my God. What could he say? What will they be saying? I could see the Secret Service. Not easy. All right. Rich is next. Enjoy 4 big hours. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us.